Lorna, if I can ask you, the same sins and troubles of Paul's time here in Romans chapter 1, they're just as important today. Why is it important for us to preach about sin as we share the gospel?
Sin, that's a word that people don't really like. People in our generation probably feel quite offended when we use the word sin. But sin is sin in any generation. And the gospel clearly tells us that we have a sin problem. And this sin problem is no different for us today. And I think that we need to preach, because the gospel tells us about sin. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. And that's talking about God being willing to deal with our sin problem. And therefore we should not be shy to say that sin is sin. As difficult as it may be in our generation, but the Bible, clearly tells us that sin will ultimately bring us destruction. So therefore, to me, it's a kindness for us to say. And when we talk about sin, it's not about pointing the finger. It's that, we are all sinners without Christ, aren't we? And we all need Christ. So therefore, I think that it's important that we preach about sin.
And in this, the one, he's thinking, if we've just thought about how the whole of creation is preaching Christ, and then he picks on the way that in our messed upness, we go against our design, the way we've been created. And he goes, look, kids don't respect their parents. And it's like, wow, that's so unnatural. How weird is that? And then he talks about our intimate relationships, and he's like, even they're getting messed up, and people are going against the way we were designed. And it's almost as if, how can people get so detached from creation and the way they were made, and to be like, I don't care if God's made me, I'm going to live my way, and I don't care what creation's saying, and I don't even care what my own body says. I'm going to live my way. And then he's like, and the sins that he lists, they're just the same. We look at our world and we're like, yeah, man, nothing's changed. Sin then, sin now. It always manifests in the same sorts of ways that are so destructive.
Yeah, it's idolatry, right? It's exchanging the truth of God and our worship for God for the created.
Yeah.